This time, we'll be taking a deep dive into one of the 7 warlords of the sea, Gecko Moria. To start with the conclusion, Moria's true identity is that he's a descendant of the ancient giants, and from now on, he'll be joining Cross Guild. His real name, unbelievably, is Kozuki Moria, a fact recently revealed in a cover story. He was a member of the Kozuki clan. If you reverse the kanji for Kozuki, you get Gecko, which reads as Gecko. Moria really does share many traits with the Kozuki family. His hairline and nose are exactly the same. In one scene where his clothes are torn, there's even a mysterious mark on his body. Now we finally know what that mark means. He was originally a Kozuki, but since he had to hide his lineage, he switched his name around and became Gecko. He once said he was defeated by Kaido in the New World, which means Moria was actually a member of the Kozuki clan who fought Kaido to protect Wano country. In truth, Moria is actually a good guy. He's portrayed as villainous, but he hasn't really done anything evil. He took in and raised Perona, and even went to rescue Absalom when he was captured. Losing his comrades in the battle against Kaido must have been a huge trauma for him. His body is full of stitches and his pale skin gives off an eerie vibe, but he once suffered wounds so severe that he was thought to be dead and then came back to life. That's probably where his idea of reviving his fallen comrades came from. Here lies a just pirate, so he was a righteous pirate all along. Now, the idea that Moria is part of the Kozuki family isn't some retcon. In fact, since the Thriller Bark arc, there have been countless connections between Moria and Wano country. At the start of the Thriller Bark arc, we see the Sea God's treasure shrine, which looks very much like something from Wano's culture. Given Moria's gothic European-style setting, it's strange to see such a Japanese element, and yet it's there. Moria was accompanied by Ryuma and Jigoro, both samurai heroes from Wano. Ryuma is a legendary samurai of Wano, and Jigoro, who had Zoro's shadow, has both a Japanese name and a Wano-inspired appearance. Actually, Jigoro is connected to Zoro's lineage too, but that's a story for another video. And then there's Perona. She's said to be from the West Blue like Moria, but she looks strikingly similar to Otoko from Wano, same pink hair and all. There's no doubt she also has Wano blood in her. Even the word Wano country first appeared during the Thriller Bark arc. There are tons of links between Wano and Thriller Bark. In other words, Moria's entire world has been tied to Wano from the start. So the reveal that his real name is Kozuki Moria isn't a sudden retcon, it's a seed Oda-sensei has been planting all along. But there's still one mystery. If Moria is from the Kozuki clan of Wano, why was he born in the West Blue? That doesn't add up, right? It's strange, very strange. He was born in the West Blue, but supposedly raised in Ringo, Wano. What's going on? Don't worry, I've got you covered. First, we need to look at the oldest history of Wano. Wano was a closed country. No one left and no one entered. However, 55 years ago, Shimosuke Kozaburo left Wano illegally with 25 people. Among them were Shimosuke Furiko Zoro's grandmother and Minatomo, the carpenter who fixed the door of Makino's bar. 52 years ago, this Kozaburo group defeated a band of mountain bandits in the East Blue and built Shimotsuki Village. 10 of them settled there. That's the village where Zoro and Kuina trained. 51 years ago, Kaoshiru Zoro's teacher was born. Then, 1 year later, 50 years ago, Kozuki Moria was born in the West Blue. But wait, if he's a Kozuki, why was he born in the West Blue? The East Blue would make more sense. Actually, it all fits perfectly. The people who left Wano illegally formed new settlements outside. Just as they built Shimotsuki Village in the East Blue, they also built one in the West Blue. Here's the proof. After defeating the mountain bandits, 10 people stayed in the East Blue to create Shimotsuki Village. But there were 25 people who left Wano, meaning 15 others went elsewhere. Those 15 settled in the West Blue, specifically in a giant tribe's village. But wait, are there giant villages in the West Blue? I thought giants only lived in Elbaf in the New World. Actually, there are other giant villages. For instance, the giant Morley is from the West Blue, and so is the giant Senyuan wolf, and that's where Moria was born. Think about it. Didn't Moria's size always seem strange? Look at his first appearance. He's even taller than Kuma by 3 centimeters. He's bigger than the buccaneers, who carry the blood of giants. Why? Oda even emphasized how huge he is, and he has horns too. That means Moria carries ancient giant blood, just like Kaido. When you inherit that blood, you grow horns, as shown in the Elbaf stories. So Moria was born between the Kozuki family, who settled illegally in the West Blue, and the giant tribe that lived there. That's why he's from the West Blue. He carries both Kozuki and ancient giant blood. Now let's keep going with the timeline. Sorry if it's complicated, but it really can't be simplified more than this. Asterisk 50 years ago, Moria is born in the West Blue. He later grows up in Ringo, Wano. Asterisk 39 years ago, Shanks and Buggy are born. Roger reaches the last island, Lodestar. Asterisk 38 years ago, the God Valley incident occurs. Asterisk 30 years ago, Odin illegally leaves Wano. Around this time, Moria forms the Gecko Pirates and leaves Wano. Asterisk 28 years ago, Kaido arrives in Wano, manipulated by Higurashi, and takes control. 24 years ago, Roger is executed in Logtown. Moria witnesses this. A year later, he fights Kaido in Ringo, Wano, and loses. The Gecko Pirates are wiped out, leading to the grave robbing incident in Wano. Within just 1 year, Moria traveled from the East Blue to the New World, likely returning home after learning that Kaido had conquered his homeland. It's only natural that he'd fight in Ringout, his birthplace. After losing the battle and his comrades, Moria warns Luffy and the others about the harshness of the New World. He realized he couldn't defeat Kaido alone, and began creating immortal zombies instead. During his fight with Kaido, he still wielded a sword, showing his Wano origins. Back then he wasn't even fat yet, but after realizing his own weakness, he became dependent on others, gave up swordsmanship, and grew lazy. That's when he gained weight. His heart was broken, so he indulged in luxuries like caviar marinades. He used his shadow powers to merge strong bodies with strong shadows, trying to become Pirate King, inspired by his own resurrection from near death. Now, why did Oda-sensei choose to reveal Moria's real name this timing? It's because of the Rock's pirates. Captain John, Giberson, Gansui, Bacchus, all their corpses appeared in Thriller Bark. So now that the Rock's arc is starting, it makes perfect sense for the cover story to revisit Thriller Bark. Reread the Thriller Bark arc. It's full of Rock's pirates references. Even God Valley, where the Rock's pirates fell, was located in the West Blue. Since Moria is from the West Blue, it's likely he salvaged the bodies from there. And as mentioned at the start, he'll soon join Cross Guild. If you look at the early concept art for Cross Guild, you can even see Perona on the poster. If Moria is from the Kozuki clan, that means he can read the poneglyphs just like Odin. That makes him a huge threat to the world government. Luffy has Robin. Blackbeard has Pudding. Shanks already seems to know everything. But among the 4 emperors, Buggy is the only one without a way to reach the One Piece. If Moria, who can read poneglyphs, joins Cross Guild, then suddenly, Buggy's crew can also join the race for the One Piece. So the true key to Cross Guild may actually be Kozuki Moria.